Hi and welcome to T10 Info TV SK channel. My name is Syed and here I am with the latest and updated news for June 28, 2023. Fire breaks out in Ajman residential building brought under control. A massive fire broke out in a high-rise residential complex in United Arab Emirates, Ajman city in the early hours of Tuesday. Khaleej Times reported the incident occurred in Tower 2 of the Ajman 1 complex of the Al Rashidiyah 3 district. A video shared by Ajman Police Headquarters on Instagram shows the corner of the building engulfed in flames reaching from the ground level to the top. Meanwhile, debris can be seen falling on the ground as emergency service arrived at the scene. After a few hours, the fire was brought under control. Emergency teams from Ajman Police and the Civil Defense swung into action quickly to control a fire which broke out in a residential tower in the early hours of Tuesday. According to a senior official from Ajman Civil Defense, the building was evacuated and the flames were promptly brought under control by the Civil Defense team, resulting in no casualties. Saudi Crown Prince UAE President held phone call with Putin on mutiny attempt in Russia. Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman held a phone call with Putin on Tuesday, expressing Saudi Arabia's satisfaction with the success of the truce effort in Russia. Meanwhile, the Kremlin, who also received a phone call from the leader of the UAE on Monday. According to the Kremlin, United Arab Emirates President Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan was interested in hearing an assessment of the situation in Russia in connection with the Wagner Group mutiny on June 24. Having received comprehensive information, the Emirati leader declared full support for the action of the Russian leadership. UAE state news agency WAM said both leaders discussed bilateral relations and reaffirmed the need to preserve the stability of Russia and the safety of its people. According to the statement, Putin expressed his satisfaction at the level of advancement in the country's bilateral relation. Pakistan Army sacks 3 officers over pro-Imran Khan protest in May. Pakistan's army has fired 3 senior officers for their conduct during protests following the May arrest of former Prime Minister Imran Khan. The rare public announcement did not name the officer, only saying that they failed to protect army properties. Pakistan's powerful military wields massive political influence and Khan supporters blame it for its removal as Prime Minister. New Zealand Prime Minister under fire over backup planes for overseas trip. New Zealand's Prime Minister Chris Hipkins has been criticized for bringing a backup plane on his visit to China this week, with opposition leaders pointing to excess planet warming emissions created in the middle of the climate crisis. The use of a second aircraft was due to frequent reliability issue with the current Defence Force plane, which has left some of the country's former leaders stuck during previous overseas trip, a spokesperson for the Prime Minister told CNN in a statement Tuesday. A backup aircraft was pre-positioned in the Philippine capital Manila in case the primary aircraft carrying Hipkins and their trade delegations broke down, the spokesperson said. Given the importance of the trade mission, the long distance involved, and the large size of the traveling business delegation and media, it was considered that a backup aircraft was justified to ensure the success of the mission to our largest trade partner, the spokesperson said. The leader of the opposition National Party, Chris Luxon, said Hipkins' use of 2 planes was not good look environmentally, according to CNN affiliate Radio New Zealand. Philippines detains over 2,700 people in anti-trafficking raid. Filipino authorities have detained more than 2,700 people during a raid on several buildings in Manila where alleged trafficking victims were paid to recruit players for online games, police said Tuesday. Chinese, Indonesian, Vietnamese, Singaporean, Malaysian, Pakistani, Cameroonian, Sudanese, Myanmar and Philippine nationals were among the people found inside a compound in the capital on Monday night. Authorities were interviewing 2,700 detainees to identify who was victim or suspect, said Police Captain Michael Sabino, a spokeswoman for the anti-cybercrime unit. Pakistan passes law paving way for return of exiled former leader Nawaz Sharif. Pakistan National Assembly has passed legislation limiting how long lawmaker can be disqualified from office, a state spokesman said Tuesday, paving the way for exiled former Prime Minister Nawaz Sharif return to politics. Mr. Nawaz Sharif served as Pakistani Prime Minister 3 times, the last before being ousted over graft allegation in 2017. Indian Ahmedabad Stadium to host India-Pakistan Cricket World Cup 2023 clash. The much-awaited game between India and Pakistan at the ICC Men's Cricket World Cup 2023 has been confirmed for October 15 at Ahmedabad, the site of the tournament's opening and final games. The International Cricket Council released the schedule on Tuesday for the 50-over format tournament that begins on October 5. Filipino Foreign Secretary Manalo on 4-day visit to India, boosting bilateral cooperation in areas of maritime security, trade and investment, health and tourism will be high on agenda during Filipino Foreign Secretary Enrique Manalo 4-day visit to India from Tuesday, June 27. The Minister of External Affairs said Mr. Manalo's visit will provide an opportunity to comprehensively review bilateral relations between India and the Philippines and to explore ways to further deepen and strengthening them. Pakistan summons US Embassy staff over bidding Modi's statement. Pakistan's Foreign Ministry has summoned the US Embassy Deputy Chief of the mission to express concern over a statement last week by US President Joe Biden and Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi that called on Pakistan to ensure its territory was not used as a base for attacks by armed groups. The US-India statement was released after a meeting between Biden and Modi at the White House on Friday and received criticism from Pakistan, which called it contrary to diplomatic norms. United States White House condemns harassment of journalists who asked PM Modi a question. The White House on June 26 pushed back strongly against those harassing Sabrina Siddiqui, the Wall Street Journal reporters who asked Prime Minister Narendra Modi a question on democratic backsliding in India during a press event at the White House on June 22 following Mr. Modi's bilateral meeting with the US President Joe Biden. The White House was aware of the reports of the harassment John Kirby, the US National Security Council's lead for strategic communications, said at June 26 White House press briefing. Pakistan former Prime Minister Nawaz Sharif and Asif Zardari meets in UAE over Pak election and seat sharing, says report. Former Pakistan Prime Minister Nawaz Sharif and former President Asif Ali Zardari have reportedly met in the UAE to consult and decide on timing of the next general election in the country and their respective share in the future setup, a media report said on June 27. The meeting between Nawaz Sharif and Zardari, the co-chairman of Pakistan People's Party, both party a partner in the ruling coalition Pakistan Democratic Movement, happened in Dubai on June 26 afternoon to hammer out a consensus on a number of key issues like finalizing names for the caretaker setup and deciding who will get what key position if the two partners win in the next election, the Dawn News reported. Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi on June 27 pushed for implementation of a uniform civil code in the country and said Muslims are being instigated over the sensitive issue as he attacked opposition parties over corruption, terming their Patna conclave as a Photoshop. Even the Supreme Court has advocated for a uniform civil code, but those practicing vote banks politics are opposing it. Mr. Modi and asked how the country can have two systems touching upon an issue closely identified with the BJP with less than a year left for the Lok Sabha polls. That's all in today's headlines. Thanks for watching. If you want to receive more important headlines around the world, keep watching T10 Info TV SK channel by subscribing and hit the bell icon to receive notification.